What's up, everybody? I got another reaction, and let's get it.
I've been thinking about more and more as a 34-year-old woman is how like certain things that I'm able to do biologically are coming to an end.
Oh, sure.
Specifically like the ability to have children. And I've always been very like, I don't want kids. This is not for me. I've never had that desire to be a mother or to have a family in that sense. But more and more I'm thinking like, am I going to be looking back on my life as like a 45 or 50-year-old woman and going,
Yep, you are. A lot of women are doing that now, and they're coming on TikTok to confess that. A lot of women hitting the wall in their 30s. They're regretting their careers. They took career over family first. They wanted to play around in their early 20s when they were in their prime. They wanted to go through their hoe phase. So now this is exactly what this woman is talking about, right? Do you want to regret in your 40s and 50s and 60s, regret what you've done in the past instead of creating a family and having a happy life with your husband and your children? But most women don't want to do that these days, right? But some women are now regretting the fact that what feminism has brought. So let's continue.
like, you should have done that.
And then even though you've been staunch in your choice, that doesn't mean that you won't change your mind. It's like, it's
Right.
one of those things where it's like, okay, and then what do you do then? Like,
Or like, what if I'm like 42 and I'm like, I really want kids.
Don't these women realize the pattern? I mean, they waste their prime and want to settle down during their decline. After having fun and not doing your work, it's not okay to show up at the office and ask for a raise. Extrapolate this idea to the world of dating, and you'll understand what it means. Having experience is required to get promoted, as long as that experience has to do with how to be a loyal partner and looking for solutions. Experience in bed is not what men look for. The objectification of both men and women is turning the dating scene into a mess. Even if you're a gentleman, the woman you date might be looking for someone else. Then she dumps you in favor of Chad, and when she gets ghosted, she thinks all the men are bad people. No, they're not. She just chose bad prospects, and now she wants the next guy to accept her past?
This analogy to describe, would you purchase a car that had a high mileage, though it had other redeeming factors to it, maybe new windows, new tires, and everything?
Of course not. Yeah, I would not buy a car with a high mileage,
Okay,
of course,
so-
but you cannot. I don't think.
Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The reason why I use that was because everything stems from that.
Mhm.
So if the foundation isn't set, there's nothing else to build upon.
Yeah.
So if she has a promiscuous past, everything else, she might be a fantastic person. She might be smart. She might be intelligent. Whatever. The most important foundational root, though, is tainted.
Okay. Yeah.
The seed is off.
Mhm.
So therefore, you can't plant a tree that's gonna grow with great fruit if the seed is off.
damn.
Yeah, you're free to.
Man, Myron's spitting facts right there. That's right. Men don't like what is he saying? He's saying that men don't like a woman that's promiscuous and has a high body count, right? And most women, I would argue different. They're saying it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. It does matter. And most women out here don't even care what men find important, right? It's all about them. And what Myron is saying is that we'd rather prefer a woman with a low body count or no body count at all. These days, it's hard to find a virgin these days, right? Because when they're in their 20s, they're promiscuous. They're having their hoe phase. And like you said, it's been tainted. He always uses the analogy that we'll rather drive a new car than a used car, right? And that is so true.
Think that way. Not all men think that way, though. I'm just saying, but you're free to. Yeah.
Men all think this
We
way.
all think that way.
Newton's third law is something modern women hardly understand. Anyway, in today's video, you'll get to know a lot about the mental processes women go through when they ride the decarousal, why they end up going for bad options, and why men are increasingly tired of modern women's changing behavior.
Yeah.
Stick around because I'm sure you're going to love this one. But before we go any further, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to Down to Stand Up. He said, when the entire mechanisms of a society are predicated on catering to one specific gender, how could there not be double standards?
Right.
You are absolutely right. Well said. Please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5 for that comment of the day. As usual, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that touched me. And now, back to the video. embrace your masculinity. Any decent grown-up adult is aware that every action has consequences. In fact, men need to learn this the hard way early on, whereas women tend to enjoy more concessions just because they've got certain chromosomes. Men get rejected sooner than women, so men tolerate rejection way more and just man up to face adversities. You know, that's where the expression comes from, man up. So
That's right. Men get rejected way more than women, right? You can't even count the amount of times men get rejected, right? As opposed to women. But no, that is so true.
Oh, sorry for sounding so misogynistic. Jokes aside, a woman doesn't face rejection that often, so when she gets a reality check, she just can't accept it. During her prime, a woman has...
Yeah, I've known some girls who get rejected, right? Because they hardly get rejected. But when girls get rejected, I've seen girls get so angry, yell, cry, get very emotional, because that's probably their second rejection in their whole life, compared to a man that gets like tens of or even hundreds of rejections, if he is a man that's hunting. But a man will take rejection a whole lot better, more, because he's been rejected more, right? When a woman gets rejected, she can't take it. She is scorned and she wants to kill you.
access to many exclusive experiences and places as long as she's slightly beautiful. The bar is not set too high for her, whereas men her age are hardly getting any privileges or VIP treatment unless he's a successful individual who ticks all the boxes that he had to work for on his own. Despite the equality narratives, men and women ain't the same, period. Many men wished a woman would understand their struggles, but once he gets emotional, down there gets as dry as the Sahara Desert. And let's not forget about how being nice can backfire on you.
Give me an example of a nice guy.
It's kind of like a guy without a backbone that like puts a girl on a pedestal. I think of like Sierra.
I would disagree. I think there's a difference between a nice guy and a simp. Right? That's what a simp would do, put her on the pedestal. A nice guy will, still keep his dignity, still keep his respect, will not let a woman run over him, but still be chivalrous, right? Still be respectful back to her. And apparently girls don't like that. They like toxic dudes. They like the bad boys. Ask me why? I don't know. I mean, that is $1 million question.
Like Russell Wilson and Sierra.
Oh, okay.
Like who did she really want, Russell or Future?
Many women claim they want nice guys, but end up falling for Chad and Tyrone. No wonder why men are tired of trying too hard and getting nothing in return. A man who brings flowers, opens doors, and pulls out chairs for women is doing too much. And by the way, these actions don't only apply to simps, but also to high-value men who have each and every metric of their lives sorted out. Russell Wilson is a football superstar, yet he's too nice compared to Future, who's a guy who would never say sorry if his girl catches him cheating. Or he might, and then he cheats again, and then, yeah, you know how it goes.
She belongs to the streets.
These modern times have proven over and over again that nice guys, including those with on-point finances and fitness, have a hard time in the dating scene. These men genuinely wanted to become better to eventually land a faithful partner, but this noble goal has become nothing but a dream or excessive aspirations, if that makes sense. Women go on dating profiles and TikTok asking men to have emotional awareness, good communication skills, and all that jazz. Honestly, I'm a big fan of those virtues, but if these women really want to get a man who ticks those boxes, they should be the ones ticking them in the first place.
Well, that's it. They say they want this, that, all these traits that a nice guy has, but yet doesn't go for the nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a contradiction. That's why I'll say never take it at face value when you're talking to a girl. Never take anything she says at face value, especially when you just start first dating.
Men are tired of figuring out how much is too much and how much is too little. They're guessing that's just how female nature operates, and in fact, many men feel bad once they use some tactics to get women to desire them. For example, you might be available and can reply to her quickly, but if you do, she'll end up thinking you're not that interesting or you don't have much going on for you. So you prefer ignoring her deliberately to play hard to get and make her want you more. That's indeed very sad and far from genuine and authentic, and yet it works. Plus, dealing with her girls' nights out or whimsical attitude is a deal breaker.
And if he's showing all of the right signs, like good communication skills, like he's showing me that he wants me.
Yeah.
I would definitely have a conversation, and in that conversation, I would gauge what kind of man he is. Is he asking and he feels uncomfortable for X, Y, and some of those reasons to me wouldn't be valid, but some of them, and I think a certain man could show me, and I'd be like, you know what, maybe that's not the best idea. If we were dating and a man's uncomfortable, then I'm absolutely going to listen.
Last question.
But I'm not going to, if that becomes a habit that every time I want to go out with my friends, you're like, no, stay in, I don't like that.
This is a headache to a guy of a girl that doesn't listen and he has to argue with every time he asks her to do something. It's like a headache.
But
Take a look at his chick. She's
And some of these dates feel like interviews, right? Like how she was talking, it feels like an interview when you go on these dates. Like you might as well take your resume and give it to her, right? Because that's what it feels like. And if you don't meet that criteria, and then she'll just move on. I'm not saying don't go on dates, but I'm just saying be aware and be on your guard. And like I said before, just don't take everything at face value. If it feels like an interview, then it's most likely not going to go your way. You know what I mean? And you might as well just move on.
very attractive and even recognizes that the man she's hanging out with is a good catch. He's got good communication skills, i.e., he's not ghosting her like Chad or Tyrone, he's transparent and loyal, etc. She even claims he's got all the good signs, but you know, him asking her not to hang out with her female friends, who might be single, is a huge no-no. Give me a break. A modern woman is willing to exit a relationship just for some validation, attention, and fun with her female friends.
Exactly, that's right. What he's saying there. She will exit a relationship, and it could be a great relationship, but if he's not giving her enough attention that she wants, then she'll be happy to move on, forget about him too, and just for that validation.
Well, let me clarify. A man who sets these boundaries is rarely telling her to just delete her friends. As much as some men are very controlling, the majority just don't want their chicks to go to the club for obvious reasons. We know how men think. This is a huge example of double standards. If a modern woman reflected on what her boyfriend could get exposed to in the club, she'll think twice about going out with her female friends.
This is a dream world hypothetical scenario. Would you be okay with your long-term monogamous partner going to a nightclub, bar, or party type environment where throughout the course of the night, he's going to get approached, flirted with, and sexually pursued by numerous attractive women, some of which are more attractive than you and could potentially be a better partner than you, and these women are buying him drinks, getting him drunk, and enthusiastically want to sleep with him that night and steal him away from you. And his single manho friends are rallying, being a bad influence. You're gonna tell me you'd be okay with that.
Would you guys be okay with that?
That's not necessarily what happens on a night out.
See, they never answer the question, right? They never answer the question with a straight answer. Like, would you be okay with that? A good, decent woman will absolutely say no. I would not be okay with that. But these girls are like, no, they're trying to think of something to justify it or justify their actions because they do the same thing.
I don't know if you noticed, but he described what
so
woman...
that's exactly what's going on?
Wait, what?
In the situation?
Yeah.
He
What he described is what women go through all the time.
Unless you're super famous, guys are not going to have...
Unless you're super famous.
Yeah, I'm talking
in general.
Average women get this experience that I just described. So...
Average women.
Yeah.
Average
Not
women.
every woman.
Average
Not every
women.
woman,
in
but
general?
average women do.
But most... Okay.
I get it.
You're going to tell me you'd be okay with that.
Okay, no, not with that. Definitely no.
So you can see how this can be a little contradictory, because none of you would be okay with it, right? But then you say guys should be okay with girls going out all the time. But that's exactly the scenario.
She didn't say
Oh,
that.
you didn't say that. But you two mainly said that.
It happens.
Why are you guys asking us this question unless you think like every guy does it at a
You
club?
got speak into the microphone, please.
So I was asking, like, why would you ask the question unless you think like every other guy does that in the club? Like, you asked the question for a reason. Like,
The reason why he asked this question, she was asking why are you asking that question? The reason why he asked that question is because we were receiving criticism for saying like it's a deal breaker if a girl's regularly going to clubs without us. That situation that he just described that you guys wouldn't be okay with happening to your boyfriend, that happens to women all the time.
Think about it. Women
Which
getting
is
hit on.
why we're saying we're not okay with our long-term partners putting themselves in situations
yeah,
like
and that's
that.
why I'm asking why you asked the question. Is like that what people like go through like at the club?
Yeah,
No,
that's
guys don't go through that.
You're saying
I'm
you weren't.
asking.
You're saying you're not okay with him.
No, of
that
course I'm
situation
not.
as he just described. But you guys were criticizing us, like looking at us
For,
like we
like,
were
not
weirdos
wanting-
for
yeah,
not
I
wanting our
understand
girlfriends
exactly.
to go clubbing.
I understand exactly what you guys are saying.
It's funny how society wants men to accept breadcrumbs and overall things they're not comfortable with. And look, the funny thing is that many men are not even allowing unfairness to rule the relationship, meaning they're not telling women to stay in while they go to the club and bang 304s left and right. The beautiful days of committed relationships, loyalty, and all that jazz are coming to an end. Or so it would appear. The rise of MGTOW and passport bros is nothing but a consequence of this insane modern dating scene.
That's right. You know, you got MGTOW, you got the passport bros, and if this thing gets bigger with women nowadays and how they're promiscuous and how they've been influenced by the feminist movement and the Me Too movement, if this gets bigger, what do you think? What else is going to get bigger? Passport bros are going to get bigger. MGTOW is going to get bigger. So, and I believe that men going their own way and flying to other countries will just get bigger because there's no woman for them in the West. And this is what's happening now. I guess it's great to see now. You see a lot of women coming out speaking on this as well, like they're speaking up for men. So you're getting women now, which was a surprise to me. And some women now are also regretting the feminist movement and the Me Too movement and what it has done for a generation of women. So that's good.
Some men choose singlehood to avoid the trouble of the beginning stages of relationships, aka proving themselves and making small mistakes that could make her go away, while others prefer traditional women who listen and respect their spouses. The bottom line is to be proactive and find solutions. The strong and independent woman will realize sooner or later that she wants a man to settle down with, but if she thinks Chad will be a good candidate, she'll only get disappointed. Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it is your turn. What do you think? Will these women ever realize that Chad does what he wants? And most importantly, will the strong and independent woman narrative go away from the minds of modern women? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get 5.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. Yeah, what do you think, man? Leave a comment down below. Do you think it's getting better now for men, or is it getting worse for men now? I think it's getting a little better, and I think the trend of, because I always talk about common sense, right? Common sense always comes full circle. It may not take a day, it may not take a week, it may not take a month. It may take 5 years, but it does come around full circle, and that's what I'm seeing now. I see a trend of women coming on the internet now talking about it, saying that it is bad, all this feminist movement, and how their family is important. You know, you shouldn't go into a hoe phase. You should find a good husband and have kids and start a family, because that's where I believe a woman's legacy is with family, and I believe that's where her true happiness lies, is with family. And you can see it with the older single women these days who are coming on here regretting it. Regret putting their career first, regret putting their party life first, instead of trying to create a family with a loving man and having children. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Please put a like and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.